Then, for the hundreds in attendance and the dozens and dozens around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to chop up!
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for an evening with Mick Foley!
Do you guys want to see a young man? We always hear about people living out their dreams, right? Can I live out a dream in front of you guys here, right here, in this part of Ontario? I'll get to the name of the town soon enough, right? All right, here it is, right? Go with Okay, we're calling this in the ring, so to speak, all right? That didn't go quite like I'd hoped, so let's try it again. I'm going to take over vocals, all right? All right, it's a little different version than the one you're singing, all right? And I think you know what I'm talking about. You ready?
One more time,
Let's
buddy.
do it. We think that the music overwhelmed me, so we're going to try an a cappella, okay? It goes like this. My name is Kurt. I've got gold medals. I got the moves that make them all tap out. The angle slam, the angle lock. Marty Jannetty still can't walk. I'm just a sexy Kurt. I'll make your ankle hurt. I'm just a sexy Kurt. And that's all I know. Okay. Thank you. Hey, let's hear the Wrestlemaniaks. Wait a minute, one more tune before I go. I got a special guest. I know I pulled a lot of this, I pulled this out of a hat. really special to you guys. You know him. He's the best there is, the best there was, ever will, best there ever will be. Say hello to Bret Hart. The Wrestlemaniaks, ladies and gentlemen. Really, really good band. Excellent band. You guys, this is an exclusive because we don't get a chance to talk to Brett very often, specifically about the events that unfolded in Montreal 22 years ago. And firsthand, Brett, what the heck happened in that dressing room?
Well, you know, my mind was spinning, everything was going crazy at the time. You know, Owen was running around, Bulldog was running around. Owen was like, Brett, you gotta calm down. You just gotta stay calm. Bulldog was like, Brett, just stay calm. We'll take care of everything, don't worry, Brett. And I didn't know what to do. And then Vince McMahon walked in and he said, if you're gonna hit me, damn well, I deserve it, hit me. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go take a shower. When I come out, if you're still here, I'm gonna knock your lights out, Vince McMahon.
So, clearly he took the warning. By the time he got in the shower, he was out of there, right?
No.
You're still there?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, like I said, when I came out of the shower, I punched Vince McMahon right in the face.
It seemed like an odd detail, but I'm guessing you took the time to put your clothes on before punching Mr. McMahon, right? It seemed like the decent thing to do.
Never took that into consideration before,
But so you knocked him out.
I did. I knocked him out.
And you knocked him out naked. So what you're telling me was a naked knockout.
Yeah, but it was the best naked knockout there is, the best naked knockout there was, and the best naked knockout there ever will be.
The Hitman, Bret Hart, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
All right, there we go. I got two microphones now. I don't know what to do with this thing. Can one of you at Wrestlemaniaks come over here to help me? Man. If I was in a pool, I'd ask for life preservers. I'm drowning up here, guys. There you go. It doesn't stand. All right. As you can tell, we've not put a lot of work into this show. Show of hands for people who are coming back to see Dolph Ziggler tonight. Dolph Ziggler, man, he walks around with a notebook. And he is a true comic, student of the game. He did a set on my show. He's always thinking of ideas. He'll have a notebook full of stuff just to deliver his set tonight. Me? I've got an index card with 3 words on it back there. Didn't even have time to write them down on my hand, you know? That's what I used to do when I was the commissioner of WWE. This is when they started with those like 20-minute soliloquies, you know? And I had to know what everyone else was saying. And I remember my mother asking me like, Mick, like, how many days in advance do you find out what you're going to talk about? And I said, days? And she said, well, how many hours? And I said, hours? And she goes, well, when do you find out? I said, Mom, there are times when the music is playing and the pyro is going up, and I still don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. And so I'd always be jotting down like 3 or 4 words to say. Occasionally you could see them on the program. And I remember there's nothing like that adrenaline rush you go when you're going live. For many years, the SmackDown show was taped. Like, they were missing out because there's just something about performing without that net. I remember specifically one time, pyro's going off and the announcements being made, and I see Mr. McMahon run over to Chris Jericho and go, "Hey Chris, don't forget we go out there to call Stephanie a bottom-feeding trash bag, hoe bucket, sleaze on." I looked at him and he goes, "Yes." I said, "Vince, that's your daughter you're talking about." And he goes, "You know, Mick, there's nothing I wouldn't do to get a pop in this business." That's the man I work for. But yeah, we're going to kind of be winging it out here. I would have liked to have written a couple things on my hand, but man, I map quested this venue from Rochester, New York last night. 2 hours and 43 minutes it said. So I took off. I'm gone. This is my 6-month anniversary without a cell phone. Cell phone free. Cold turkey, 6 months. Generally speaking, it's a pretty good thing. Not when you find out your piece of crap GPS does not get Canadian directions. So after driving for an hour, I pulled over in Buffalo, right? I'm 1 hour into the 2 hour and 43 minute trip. And I haven't not quested at a Hampton Inn. It comes up as 3 hours and 3 minutes. I thought at least I'll still be plenty of time. And I arrived 4 hours later. I see a sign that says, Toronto, 39 minutes. And I start doing that thing where you're yelling in the car. And I'm going, but it's right there. I can see Toronto right there. How can it possibly be 39 minutes away? And it wasn't. It was 60 minutes away. So I made it. I didn't have a lot of time to properly think about what we'd be talking about. But I think we're going to just ramble and see what happens. Sometimes shows work out the best. I would prefer to have 3 or 4 words written on my head just to keep me in line. But we're going to do the best we can. And the coolest part is no matter how bad I suck up here, and it looks like I'm going to suck today, once we get those questions, we'll be off and running. Everyone's going to have a great time. And then we'll leave plenty of time to be part of the NXT show for those of you who are going there. So, yeah, we're going to do show of hands. All right. And congratulations and welcome to the second best show you're going to see all day. Is this thing working okay? Can you hear me? All right. You know, I told a friend of mine, bringing her son, and they're sitting here, hopefully having a good time. She's like, is it okay if my son comes? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I work PG. There's nothing you'll hear that can be offending you. Apparently, the Wrestlemaniaks did not get the notice. Didn't get the memo about it being a PG show. But man, they were awesome. It kind of reminded of me when I got booked to do a show called The Gathering of the Juggalos. You ever heard about this thing? So I was new to social media. By the time I found out I was booked, the money was in the bank, so therefore I couldn't not do the show when a couple of helpful fans showed me video clips of the way past guests had been treated at the gathering. My God, have you seen this? Have you seen what some of these acts go through? They're like dancing around what look to be bodily solids and liquids heading their way. And I almost missed my plane. What I did, I stopped even though the weather forecasts were brilliant blue skies. I bought a rain poncho at Walgreens. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. And I stopped off at a place called the Lacrosse Warehouse because many years ago, 30-something years ago, I used to be a goalie. And I was there, I was like working in the pocket of a goalie stick, and the guy says to me, oh, you gonna be playing some lax, Mick? And I went, nope. He said, well, what are you gonna be catching? And I said, shit. He said, what kind of shit? Sorry, bad words, sorry. And I went, human. And I got out there, man, and I just invoked a little of the 96 mankind on them, and I just told them, listen, if I see anything even remotely turd-esque heading my way, I will block it, and I will send it back at you at a higher speed than it arrived. And 20 minutes later, it was like a love fest. I'd asked somebody to throw me a beer can just so I could write the stick off of my taxes. But it all worked out. I'm trying to think. I'm officially drawing a blank here. It's not a dramatic pause here. Oh yeah, SummerSlam, right? I was thinking about some of my big SummerSlam memories, all right? And as I was coming in here, there's no exhibition stadium anymore, right? What is it called?
Nothing.
What's it called?
It's gone.
BMO Field? So I had one of the final wrestling matches, WWE at Exhibition Stadium. Are you going to remember 96? 96 against The Undertaker? There was like 35,000 fans there, right? Does anyone recall something that went slightly askew that day? Anyone? Because I didn't get it at first either, but The Undertaker generally, and as a guy I think who wrestled The Undertaker more times than anyone, I'm privy to say this, he's got pyrotechnics that usually go off in 3 corners of the ring while he stands at the 4th corner and brings his hands up. Well, that evening at Exhibition Stadium, someone didn't get that memo, and the pyro went off in all 4 corners. A lesser man would have walked to the back, but that's not The Undertaker. So he wrestled that match and defeated me without the benefit of eyelashes because they were gone. And so I was driving here, like I said, plenty of time. I was thinking about, all right, some of my SummerSlam memories, right? I was like, okay, some of my SummerSlam memories. And then I was like, that summer, right? I was Mankind and I was wrestling Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels was the champion at the time. I took a lot of pride in having great matches. Who couldn't have great matches with a guy like Shawn Michaels, right? Maybe the best wrestler of his generation. You can quote me on that. But this time, when I was going around the horn trying to have the best match I could, the Heartbreak Kid's back was in really tough shape. And so I told him, beginning of every match, you will not take a single bump. Not a single bump. And maybe we didn't have 5-star classics like Shawn might otherwise have had. But I'll be darned if we didn't have some pretty darn good matches where my offense consisted of these 2 fingers delivered to the neck and the throat, and all I would do, Shawn would be down, and I could work like a big guy, because Shawn was a smaller guy, so I could lift him, and I could drop down, I would size him up, and I would look down with these 2 fingers, and I would stare at my fingers, because the Mankind from 96 was fairly menacing. I don't know if you're going to remember it, or admit it to yourselves, but I struck fear into the hearts of many a child and woman back in 96 and 97, before that character took a more comedic, gentler, lighter tone. And so I just admired those fingers. I would drop down on my knees into the neck, and Shawn would sell so well. You know, every time he went, I would drop the finger to his neck, he would go over the ropes, or choke him out on the ropes. We were having good matches, night in, night out. It wasn't hurting him at all. And Shawn appreciated it. And this was a big moment in my life, bigger than anything that took place in the ring, because Shawn knew how much I put into that character. Toughest thing about being the original, clad from head to toe in a brilliant UPS brown, was I had to be a lot darker and more aggressive than I was as a normal human being. So Shawn and the guys appreciated that I would actually go into the boiler room for a couple hours before each match so I could emerge in that character of the person that I needed to be. And Shawn Michaels looked at me after one of those good but not great matches, and he said, don't take this the wrong way, but is this what you always wanted to be? Talking about the Mankind character? And I looked at him and I said, honestly? He said, yeah. I said, no. I wanted to be you. And he looked at me like you're looking at me, right? Puzzled out of his mind. And I said, no, I don't mean the Heartbreak Kid, but like I want to be the guy who got the women, and I want to be the guy who was loved and hugged. And it just so happened Bruce Pritchard was listening to this conversation. Well, like you guys know that, the emergence of Dude Love, as if I wasn't going to get to that part on my own. and Bruce realized, I told him this story about me creating this character of Dude Love when I was 17 years old, and making home movies with the dude wrestling Ishmael, the Puerto Rican giant. How we talked my friend Ishmael Lozada into wrestling in his underwear in below freezing weather in my front yard, I don't know. but we had this stuff and it was pretty cool. And when Bruce found out that we had video of this dream that I wanted to be, he went to Mr. McMahon with it. And that's what made things start to work for me, because I'd always been told by all of the top superstars in WWE and Al Snow, you couldn't really be a top superstar in WWE until Mr. McMahon came around and personally became a fan. And up until that point, like spring of '97, Mr. McMahon had me in big matches, mind games against Shawn Michaels, the first ever buried alive match against The Undertaker. And just so you know, yeah, we did that type of thing when I was around. We buried each other alive. We liked it. But he wasn't quite on board until he found out about this real-life saga I had to tell him. He admitted that the real-life story I had to offer as Mick Foley was probably more compelling than the fictional portrait we had created together as Mankind. And there was this interview series that Dustin Runnels had done just a few weeks earlier, where he came out, talked about being Dustin Runnels, how Goldust was a character he portrayed. He talked about the character as opposed to himself. It allowed people to get a much better feeling for what that guy was really like. And it really did a lot for that character. That's what Mr. McMahon wanted to do to me, with me. And I said, well, Mr. McMahon, I got a lot of work tied up with this character. What if I give 100% honest answers to questions that are unknown to me? Therefore, I don't know the questions. Jim Ross does not do the answers. But I will give those 100% honest answers in the character of Mankind. And he looked at me and said, you think you can do that, pal? And for all the things I lacked in WWE, the things that you would usually need to be a superstar, size, gifted physique, the look of a star, Mr. McMahon, the reason he covered up my face, found out 20 years after the fact, he didn't think I looked like a star. The adjective he used to describe me was sleazy. Man, pretty tough, right? For a guy dressed in a Santa Claus shirt in August. Hey, can I have that chair? Don't do the ECW thing where you throw a bunch of chairs here. Anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, look up ECW chairs, Cactus Jack. Thank you. Because what I'm gonna do now, it's gonna be amazing, all right? Usually we frown on the videotaping, just because this is a work in progress. We might take bits and pieces of what I do today and use them, but this is pretty amazing, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to chemically change my body composition so I can metamorphosize from 2019 Mick Foley into 1997 Mankind. Okay? Now this is where Jim Ross and I, we are sitting at the table. We're sitting around a table. Table. Jim has asked me questions and I don't know the answer. I don't know, so he therefore does not know the answers. And we are picking this up at a moment in time when I am talking about being harassed or bullied just a little bit on the schoolyard by schoolmates of mine who were throwing worms at me, okay? So we're going to pick this up. 1997 Mankind is going to be amazing. I'm going to put my head down. 2019 Mick Foley, lift it up. 97 Mankind. Ready? I'm not ready yet. Well, I don't think it's going to happen tonight. All right, one more try. Let me get really deep in the zone, okay? Deep in the zone. They were throwing worms at me, Jimmy. Little wriggly worms. And what was I going to do? Was I going to throw them back? It's not a matter of them wounding me. They were injuring my pride. So you know what I did? I took the biggest worm that I could find and I sucked it down! Do you think I got many dates after that? Do you think that there were girls who wanted to kiss a boy who had worms on his breath? I was a good kisser! What's so funny about that? But I never had the chance. What was I gonna do? Practice on a pillow? And out of the darkness, I heard a voice, unbeknownst to me. Didn't even know he was there that night. A voice in the darkness that said, "This is outstanding." It was Mr. McMahon. And I was a made man from that moment on. So the '96 SummerSlam, right? My first SummerSlam. Mankind against The Undertaker in the Boiler Room. The first ever Boiler Room Brawl. Now, Richie Posner was a guy we called the Magic Man because he could do anything prop-wise, okay? Remember, this is August '96. The Buried Alive match. Just gonna put a spoiler out there. No one actually got buried alive, okay? There was a little magic to it, courtesy of Richie Posner, but that was in October. In August of '96, Richie Posner came up to me and asked me, Mick Foley, what kind of props I needed for my match. That got me angry. I said, listen, Richie, I know I've only been here a few months, I don't want to cause a problem, but I don't use props. If I do it, it's got to be real. There's a great talented wrestler named RJ City from this community. You guys know RJ? I heard RJ, he did a set for me in Buffalo where he talked about a magician. A magician sawing a woman in half, and there's blood squirting and the woman screaming. When he exposes the woman, she's really been cut in half. And when the audience goes, oh my God, he goes, I'm a real magician. A strong style magician. So yeah, I didn't use props, so it's big. I'm gonna drop one F-bomb tonight, okay? Just one. I'm not gonna tell you when. It's gonna come as a surprise. Think of it as my RKO. Come out of nowhere. Do you want to be my F-bomb counter? Just tell me if I've used enough for one lift to the tank, okay? And if I can get a standing ovation for one mean word, one bad word, truly we'll know something special took place here, right here, in this part of Ontario. Yeah, and so we went out, it was like 17 minutes. Oh, but just so you know, I was backtracking, thinking of the days leading up to this. I remember Michael Hayes telling me this was going to be the match I'd be remembered for the rest of my life, okay? I had a lot on my table with that match, let alone like a personal family issue. There was a heat wave in the southern part of the United States that summer. Got a message from my wife telling me that a young man named Leonard, who did some work for us, landscaping, and he had a child and brought into the world under very difficult circumstances without enough oxygen, and the child very troubled physically, emotionally, and the young child had gone into seizures the night before because there was no air conditioner. And so my wife wanted to know if we could lend them or give them $400 for a new air conditioning unit. Now, I don't know if you've heard the rumors out there about me and my alleged thriftiness on the road. Oh, some of them are true. Some of them are damn true, okay? $400 was a lot of money at that time, I'd only had one pay-per-view. I didn't know how long my stint in WWE was going to last. So fortunately, I was traveling one of the holiest, wisest men in all of wrestling. And so I asked that gentleman, a true legend of our sport, like, what should I do? You know how some people can talk all day and say nothing? This guy said one word and said so much, just that one word. He just looked at me and said, pray. Wise, right? So the next day, this gentleman asked me what I did. And I said, we bought the air conditioning unit. A day earlier, he had said so much with just that one word. Now he said even more with no words at all. He just put his hand on my knee, bowed his head, and he walked away, leading me to know beyond a shadow of a doubt, this was the wisest, holiest man I'd ever met. That was about 10 p.m. that evening. 6 hours later, at 4 a.m., motel outside of Detroit, Michigan, the wisest, holiest man I ever met urinated all over me. I just woke up to find myself being peed on And I went, Jake, what the? Jake the Snake Roberts said, man. The craziest thing was like, it startled me, but not so much that I didn't ascertain that the urine was ice cold when it hit my body. But he was standing like at most 18 inches away. And I remember as it's going on, it's crazy the things you can think of, like when your mind is, you know, like when I lost my ear in Munich, Germany. Some of you may know this, right? I'd already injured my ear a few other times. In retrospect, I probably should have taken that item off the menu a few years ahead of that. But I knew that when cartilage gets damaged, it doesn't bleed. And yet in this match with Vader, right, the monster Vader, rest his soul, I went outside and the blood was just streaming out and I could hear it actually pitter-pattering against the bright blue protective mats. And even though I knew my body was in rough shape, the only thing I could think of at that moment in time was how similar the song Listen to the Rhythm of the Falling Rain and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's entrance music sounded. Because one went, listen to the rhythm of the falling rain. The other one went, loves his wife and kids and does the best he can. Ricky Steamboat the Dragon. With all due respect to the Undertaker's music, that's a badass jam, man. Nothing streets fear to the heart of your opponent, like finding out you love your wife and kids. And do the best you can. But that's the way my mind was working as I was being peed on and realizing it was an icy cold liquid. I was like looking like either this guy truly is reptilian in nature or he's got some type of crossbrood microfiltration system hooked up to it. Earmuffs smell. Boss. What the hell are you doing? And he just kind of mumbled and laid back in bed. And I laid there, I actually contemplated staying in the bed, surrounded by the weird potpourri of pee, sweat, old beer, Jake's farts. And to show you how cheap I was, I did go down to the lobby, but I waited until 9 a.m. so I wouldn't be charged an extra day. And then we made our way to Cleveland for SummerSlam, and Undertaker and I had that wild boiler room brawl. And the highest form of praise, can you guys see me over there okay? Is that Mr. McMahon loved it so much, as did Jim Ross. They decided the way to honor it would be to apply no commentary at all. 17 minutes without a word. 17, it was really disconcerting and really troubling, because I used to set up a lot of my spots and big moves based on what I thought Jim Ross might add to that moment. And then we had to actually go outside then and pick it up. We were fighting all over the backstage area. I threw boiling hot coffee on The Undertaker, and people ask me now, 23 years later, was that coffee really hot? Because it was smoking when it hit him. Never remember this? I was like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Just like when I was standing on a mound of earth during the first ever Buried Alive match, and I saw a bolt of lightning come down from the scoreboard and strike the earth not 10 feet from where I stood. And people say, did that lightning really come down and strike the earth? I'm like, I don't know. I've lived it so many times and it sounds better to say it did, right? So anyway, in this case, it seemed like it was boiling hot coffee. I don't know if I'm sadistic enough to do that to another human being. For the sake of argument, let's say I am. And then we went out into the ring, and as much as displeased I was with the decision not to give the match any commentary, man, you talk about a big win. I would guess that I wrestled The Undertaker 100 times during the course of my career. I go on the limb and say I wrestled him more than any other opponent in his history. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but that's my guess. Wrestled him more. I'm looking at it like my overall record was 2-98. I defeated him at the King of the Ring in June '96, and with the help of Paul Bearer, he turned on The Undertaker. That's what we in the business refer to as putting a rocket on your back. And so Mr. McMahon showed that type of faith to me. We had Paul Bearer as my manager. Now, I'm going to just tell you, because I already referenced the language here, okay? That it might sound strange coming from someone who is in the Attitude Era, who watches his language, only drops one F-bomb. Now, we had some concern with some of the venues, especially we went to Scranton, Pennsylvania, at the Scranton CY. You're cheering for Scranton, Pennsylvania? Why? People in Scranton don't cheer for Scranton. Why? Are you from there? Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. But there was a place, the Scranton CYS, the Catholic Youth Center. So there was some concern that the Attitude Era language might not be in keeping with the standards that the Scranton wanted for the Catholic Youth Center. So Blackjack Lanza, the agent for that evening, went around to every superstar except one and told them to watch their mouth that night. The one superstar he did not talk to, me, means I never use bad language. So Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg went out there and they said, "You're not done with that, we got 2 words for it." They didn't say it, they let the crowd say it. There's apparently 3,500 people saying the word "suck it" is not as offensive as one. And when I heard that, having not gotten the memo from Jack Lanza, I decided to take those words literally. It was me and Kane against New Age Outlaws, both managed by Paul Bearer, an underrated tag team, if you ask me. And I grabbed that microphone and like I said, "Uncle Paul, don't make me suck it. I don't want to suck it." And I use the term "suck it" every way you can imagine. And when I walked back through that dressing room, Jack Lanza was looking at me and he shook his head and he went, "We will never be invited to the CYS again." And we never have. But yeah, Bearer turning on The Undertaker was a big deal. But I look back and I was like, man, they kind of screwed that up because I got the 17 minutes of silence. I understood it was meant as a compliment, but I didn't take it as such. So that next year, fast forward to 97, right? We've done those interviews, the interview with Jim Ross. Mr. McMahon thought so highly of it that he edited it into 6 parts, applied music, and played it weekly for 6 straight weeks. And after the first week aired, I had a very rare ride to the next town with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he asked me if they were turning me babyface, which means a good guy. "Scared they turn you babyface?" I said, "No, I think they just want the fans to have a better idea about the character." He goes, "Hell, you'll be a babyface in 2 weeks." And I'll be damned if I wasn't. Go back and check. There was no turn, right? Usually you turn babyface. It was the most organic changing of the guard in that every week for those first 4 weeks, more and more people were climbing on board because they empathize with the character. And a lot of times when I see someone, especially, they've got the book, and they tell me that that book meant a lot to them, I can guess 2 persons that they were going through a difficult time. They found some comfort in that character trying to find his way through the world, because I was as much of a misfit among all those incredible physiques and great-looking guys and women as anybody is when they can't figure out what their place in life is. And man, we really started connecting to the point where I just started wrestling. I was getting cheers. By the time we hit SummerSlam, I'd already debuted as Dude Love, right? Me and Stone Cold Steve Austin won the tag team championships our first day, our very first day. And so, I had talked openly about the pivotal moment in my life as far as being a fan was when I hitchhiked to Madison Square Garden, my school in upstate New York, about a 5-hour ride by bus. I got a ticket, I scalped the ticket, I was in like the 3rd row. I saw Snuka dive off the top of that steel cage onto Don Morocco. I've always been like a people watcher, and so as soon as he hit, I started looking around at the people, and there were grown men crying. There were strangers hugging each other, like this didn't, you realized right away this is one of the best moments of my life. And all I could think of as this was going on was, one day I hope I can make people feel like I feel right now. So when Triple H and I got a chance to wrestle inside a steel cage at SummerSlam, it's like, if I got the chance, I'm going up to the top. And when I was Dude Love, when I was in those interviews with Jim Ross, I was talking about the heart-shaped tattoo I had when I was 17 years old, applied by magic marker. And so, the big coup de grace that evening, SummerSlam '97, I was going to tear open the Mankind shirt to reveal that majestic, brilliant, fire engine red Valentine on my chest. Except I forgot to put it on until my music played, which when I put a sloppy red magic marker and it was still running. So by the time I actually got up to the top, I wasn't even at the top, so I realized as I was walking up there, climbing up, I'm like, dear God, I can't stand and balance on top of that cage. So I actually jumped and dove and dropped an elbow from one rung inside, okay? People like to remember it was from the top of the cage the same way I like to remember a bolt of lightning came down from a scoreboard in Indianapolis in October of '96. And when I tore open that shirt, there was absolutely nothing on my chest. Just a runny red mass. But we dropped that elbow, man, and it was one of the coolest things that I can remember. It really was one of the cool things.